We all have this picture of the jester, right? The fool, the entertainer. But tonight, we're going to look past the mask and explore a kind of mythic parable. This is the story of the jester's journey through the void and how he came out the other side as a philosopher forged in fire and shadow.
Now, this right here, this is where our story is going to end. But to even begin to understand how a cynical, world-weary court fool could arrive at this kind of cosmic wisdom, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, back to a time when the jester was, well, nothing more than air itself.
So we first meet our jester in his natural element. He's a creature of pure levity, of weightlessness. His entire purpose is to mock, to jest, to make sure no single moment ever gets too heavy or too real. He is an absolute master of deflection.
And right away you see his core duality. To the court, he's just this harmless entertainer, right? But in private, he's a profound cynic, maybe even a nihilist. He lives on this strange bridge between the orderly world we all pretend to live in and the chaotic, darker truths of existence.
This image, it really captures the hidden danger of his existence. This lightness, this refusal to actually engage with life, it makes him like a balloon with no string. He just floats, purposeless, avoiding the gravity of real pain and loss. But in doing so, he misses out on any real human depth. He's completely, utterly disconnected.
But here's the thing, you can't float forever. Sooner or later, the ground calls you back. The jester has to confront the very weight he has been so desperately trying to avoid. And this brings us to the central conflict of his entire life, his performance on the tightrope.
And that weight, it actually has a name, at least in the philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche. It's called the spirit of gravity. You know that feeling? That heavy, sinking realization that life might be fundamentally absurd, maybe even meaningless? Yeah, that's it. That's the antagonist of our story.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. The jester's laughter isn't coming from a place of joy. Not at all. It is a highly sophisticated defense mechanism. It's the shield that lets him stare right into the existential abyss, that creeping meaninglessness, without being completely devoured by it.
So this is the real performance of his life. Every single joke, every little piece of mockery, it's an act of balance. He's a tightrope walker, dancing and performing these acts of levity right over the very same hollowness, the same existential void that he makes fun of in everyone else. He is secretly grappling with it every single moment.
A performance like that, it can't last forever. The act gets thin, the weight gets heavier. So you have to ask yourself, what happens when that shield of humor finally cracks?
And this is it. This is the climax of his journey. He has to turn away from the audience, away from the court, and finally look inward. He has to confront the source of all his cynicism, a terrifying figure that personifies all his repressed darkness, the ugliest man.
Here's the pivotal shift. The jester's greatest tool, his humor, has to be completely repurposed. It can no longer be a shield he uses to deflect the world. Instead, it has to become a mirror for some serious self-examination. The jokes he used to tell about everyone else, now they have to be turned upon himself. This path to becoming whole, believe me, it is an ordeal. It's not some simple checklist. He has to turn his wit inward, force himself to face all the parts of himself he's buried for years, and in doing so confront this ugliest man, his own shame, his own fear, to finally achieve a kind of brutal, authentic self-honesty.
And the result of this terrifying confrontation? It's profound. The very void he was dancing over, that bottomless pit of fear, it doesn't just disappear. Instead, it's transformed. It becomes solid ground, a foundation for a new, resilient kind of existence. His greatest weakness literally becomes his greatest source of strength.
So, having faced the darkness and finally found his footing, the jester is reborn. He discovers this entirely new philosophy that affirms life, one that blossoms not in spite of his suffering, but directly from it. This is the ecstasy of the dance.
He taps into what Nietzsche called the Dionysian impulse, as this wild, creative, ecstatic energy that doesn't just tolerate life's chaos and pain, but actually embraces it. It's about seeing life for what it truly is, a tragic comedy, beautiful and terrible all at the same time.
And with this energy, he can finally say a resounding yes to everything. And I mean everything. Not just the good parts, but the entire, chaotic, messy, absurd, beautiful, painful masterpiece of existence. There is no more need for shields.
And so, our parable comes to a close. The jester completes his transformation. He's no longer just an entertainer, and he's no longer just a cynic. He has integrated both sides of himself, and he emerges as something new, a tragic philosopher.
His strength is finally authentic. You see, his resilience is no longer this hollow shield designed to keep reality out. No, now it is a roaring fire that is fueled by the very reality he once sought to escape. The pain, the absurdity, the gravity, all of it just feeds the flames.
So what is the wisdom we've learned from his journey? That the weight of the world, that spirit of gravity, is actually what gives our dance its grace. That the highest form of seriousness is found in play. That true strength is being able to hold both tragedy and comedy in the same hand. And that true resilience is a fire, not a wall.
In the end, the jester's story is a kind of map. He had to journey deep into his own inner abyss to find the anchor that would allow him to truly dance with life. And that leaves all of us with a final, provocative question. Where will you find yours?